So here it is, my 2022 Model S Plaid, my dream car. And this is a non-biased review from me that is also a Metro Detroiter that lives in the home of the big three, in my opinion about everything. Now, I've owned this car for about 4 weeks. I've put 5,000 miles on it. And I did buy it used because some of you are probably wondering why I said 2022, not 2023. Now you know the answer. And all I can say is that I've never had so much fun with a vehicle in my life. Now, this video is going to have a lot more positives than negatives, just because they truly made a master of engineering for a $100,000 sedan that is also the world's quickest production car. Sorry, Rimac, love you guys in Croatia, but 150 made of that Navara, that's not a production car. This is, though. They sell about 4,000 to 5,000 of them every quarter. And this thing is no short of a complete sleeper, a beast, and everything that you have seen online of just absolute craziness. The videos of the performance do it no justice, and it's just freaking incredible. This brings me to the first part of the review, that in the order that I'm going to do it in, and it is the performance of the Model S Plaid, the thing that essentially I really bought it for, just to feel the world's quickest production car. And I know some of you say, the Rimac Navara, or the proper way to pronounce it, the Rimac Navara, is the world's quickest production car. 150 of them made production car. I don't know about that, fam. But we are on our way down to Belle Isle, and we're gonna, record the rest of the video for you guys. The review of the Model S Plaid after 1 month, and it's just, this thing is just a monster. And we're at 94% full charge. That was me pressing the touch capacitive buttons on the yoke, and this thing is just a monster on the street. I'm waiting for this kind of curve to let up a little bit. We're already rolling at like 75, and this thing, you'll see, I'll let it loose here for a second, just a light pull, just this lane ends, let me merge over. This thing is just absolutely bonkers acceleration for the money that you're paying. I mean, you're faster than a Bugatti in the quarter mile. You're the quickest production car on the planet. Yeah, I mean, it's just a monster. And just another pull here, just I've actually, there's not a lot of things in life that scare me, but this thing, after 80, it just continues to pull. Compared to my Model Y and Model 3 that I had before, it was just, after 80, the power would drop. But this thing is just oh my God, the power just starts at 80. Before that, it's just out of this world. And after 80, you just enter another dimension, another, how would I say, completely different ball game, And there is some traffic up ahead. When I'm on my way back up the highway from Belle Isle and shooting the rest of the review, I'll try to do some other polls, but I didn't know traffic was going to be this bad going down this interstate around this time. But while we are slowing down here, I also wanted to tack onto this part as well and talk about range, right? So I have the 21 Arachnas on my Plaid that came with from Tesla. I am ordering the 19s with winter sets, obviously because it's Michigan and it's gonna snow, salt, rain, everything mixture. And these are summer tires on the 21s, and it's pretty good handling. Pretty good range. The rated range, I think, is 340, 355 with the Tempest. Excuse me, I had to cut that part out. The 21s that are on the car, and the 19s will get you 396. So 21-inch Arachnas that are on the Plaid right now, about 340, 350, and that's if you are in chill mode, driving not on the highway, ideal conditions, right? Realistic range, I mean, I'm getting between 275 to 300, and again, chill mode, not gunning it, not doing some, spirited driving, all that fun stuff. Just, kind of average driving, which is great range. I got charging at home. I don't have to worry about, stopping at a supercharger. But again, if I want to take a road trip, you guys know that situation. the road trip is, you know, way doable across the whole North America and probably most of Europe because of the supercharging network, but I don't have to get into that. There's plenty of reviews online of that. But yeah, and you know, kind of the final section in about the car and its performance is just its sleeperness. I know that's not a word, I probably said that wrong, but it truly is the ultimate sleeper. You know, I remember when I got it, kids in the neighborhood, you know, some of them know it was a Plaid, they saw the badge, but most of my neighbors and people in general that see it, it's just a Tesla with a nice badge, nice, you know, white seats and nice rims. However, once you actually see the performance next to another car, or you might, you know, go to the drag strip and do some racing, or how everybody says, go down to Mexico and do some racing. People are just astonished by the launch, by the acceleration, by the power. And I'm not even talking about 0 to 60, but it's just like, I mean, this does 155, 9.2 trap speed, or, you know, trap time the quarter mile. It's just bonkers. And we got a little openness here. There are some cars behind me, so I'll just, oh my God. It's just, this thing is, and you can see the car in the back, it's just like all the way gone. Well, probably can't see it because of my GoPro, but man, this thing is just, it's so much power and you just don't expect it right away. Starting off with the only thing that really signifies to people that aren't Tesla fans that it's a Plaid is the Plaid name. Now, I prefer the Plaid name over the Plaid symbol that from the original Plaid launch date was supposed to be the Plaid symbol from the movie Spaceballs. That's the reference if you guys didn't know. And I also, preferably, since this is a January 2022 build, I prefer these taillights a lot better than the new refresh on the brand spanking new ones that started coming out mid-2022. And of course, I wanted to start with the back of the exterior because obviously this is what the combustion fanboys see the most, is the Plaid taillights. Now, coming around from the vehicle and coming off from the side here, obviously it's got a wider stance. It's kind of hard to see, and again, I don't have like a super professional camera, this is just a 4K GoPro, but you can see this fender just sticks out. And usually on high performance cars, sedans, you know, race cars, that means business. They put that out because of the fender flares, and that means business. And these are the 21 Arachnas that come with the car. The calipers are painted black, as you can see in there, and they kick up rocks like crazy. It's 295 30 ZR21 in the back, and coming off, you know, into the front, it's a little bit meatier of a tire with 265 35 ZR21. Like I did mention already, I'm gonna get the 19s, and especially with the white seats, this is what drew me to it, because I had my Model 3 before from the early days of Detroit Tesla, and it was just pretty much just a gorgeous looking. The white just really pops, the vegan leather, the blue, and I really, you know, at first wasn't a fan of the black rims, but I actually kind of like them now, especially when you kind of clean up the tail, you know, the tail lights and the headlights as well. They look super nice, and it's super stunning, especially when you have the windows down. It's a definite eye catcher for somebody that likes premium sedans. But again, we haven't got to the performance part yet. People just don't know the performance of this vehicle. Now, coming to the front of it is a really nice look, sleek look. Obviously the Tesla symbol. A lot of people kind of complained online of when the Plaids came out, a lot of different reviewers that I watched, that, you know, before on the old Model S, that they had this trim piece that would go around the car here, and it was, you know, chrome, and then they had the chrome rims, and the door handles were chrome, you know. But now everything's blacked out except the Plaid logo that's on the back and the Tesla tees on the front and back of the vehicle. I like it. Yeah, I mean, I like it because if it was blacked out, the combustion fanboys wouldn't see what, like, put 40 bus lengths on them. So, you know, on top of that, you saw that the door handles, they came out, they're presenting, self-presenting, they work all the time. I've never had an issue. I shut off the setting at home when I'm in my garage and I park it, so I don't have to worry about them, you know, coming out and all that fun stuff just randomly every time I walk by the car to maybe get something from the garage or just grab something I forgot in the car. Now, here's my first negative of the video. with the exterior. Now, the exterior, like I already mentioned, these are big 21-inch rims and tires, right? And they kick up rocks. I installed these mud flaps myself from Tesla. It helps. You can't really see it, but I'm going to zoom in here on the side. Like most performance cars, you can kind of see it's already making these rock chips. Now, I'm going to get this whole repainted part of this door and get this PPF, because this joke of a PPF that they put here from Tesla didn't cover the big parts. Now, there's also a part of me with that negative that I actually kind of like, because then when people check out the car, it's kind of like battle scars. They know that this thing means business when it comes to performance, and it's just absolutely wild. And on top of that, I love how it's one, you know, glass piece on top of here that goes across, makes it really nice. And of course, I like the little carbon fiber spoiler touch, and of course mine is not coming off, so good quality there. Now, overall, from the exterior, finishing up this portion of the video, the build quality is pretty good. I mean, everything pretty much lines up. There's a couple things that are, you know, kind of like misaligned here and there, but you know, this was a used car, so it does have a few scratches here and there. I'm planning to get a lot of, you know, the hood repainted and a couple other things that came with the car that Tesla is going to take care of, because outside of their used car warranty and, or I guess you could say standards, and I'll get into that in another video. But overall, the build quality is good. There was a small problem with this trim piece that comes up. It pops out, as you can see. However, that's going to on the to-do list to fix. Again, it's a used car. It's not brand new. I know some of them brand new have those problems, but they have gotten a lot better. So overall, I like the exterior. I like the way it looks. I like how they blacked out the trim and the door handles and everything, and especially with the white and black and interior of the carbon fiber. That is awesome, and the way it looks. And of course, the blacked out cameras, if you guys didn't know, it's a camera. So onto the interior. So let's check out the interior. Now, I went with the white seats, carbon fiber on the dash, on all of the doors. There's these carbon fiber strips, and in the middle here. So let's take a seat in the cockpit of the world's quickest production car. As you probably know, or if some of you are actual my subscribers on the channel, it's super quiet in here. Very quiet. You get the front screen here, 17-inch screen here. Of course, there's air conditioning, believe it or not. Heated and cooled seats, and it's just such a quiet cabin. Such very premium, and of course, a Fly is joining us for the review. It's super nice, very luxurious to me. That is a very big opinion about people and, you know, what they are looking for in luxury. That definition is thrown around. I'm more of a technology guy. I think the seats are super comfy. I like everything about the build quality. Not everything is perfect inside with regards to build quality. Some of the plastics, you know, you can kind of still hear them, and you know, there are some plasticky ways, you know, and things that Tesla uses that they can improve on. But overall, I would say it's pretty luxurious. A lot of Alcantara all around. And obviously this is the inside of that top glass that just goes all the way back. Super nice. And coming, you know, over to the most controversial thing on this vehicle, besides the combustion fanboys getting upset that a battery and an iPad is beating them, is the yoke. The yoke. I've driven 4 weeks with this. I've had prior experience with the yoke with my friends' Plaids that they let me drive time to time, or just being in there and watching them. I like the yoke. Given how much power the vehicle has, I think you need something like this just to hold on for dear life and make sure that you're really controlling this car, even though it's super, super, super controllable, and it's very, very nice. And overall, the quality is pretty good with it. I like it. The buttons are touch capacitive, just like on a lot of the Ferraris. And, you know, your horn is here, windshield wipers, voice, high beams, left and right turn signals. It does take a couple days to get used to all of this and kind of like have a good feeling with it. But overall, it's, you know, really nice. I like it, especially for the power. Now, another con that I don't like, especially about the yoke. Now, I'm somebody that drives with the cameras on. I like extra pair of eyes, especially because people drive in the whole world, especially United States and Metro Detroit, for those of you that live here. A lot of people don't know how to drive, and I usually liked on Model 3 and Model Y, I'd bring up the cameras here, but you can already see that when I want to merge left into a lane, the yoke is, in my opinion, too wide, because you see it's blocking this camera. And thankfully they essentially sent an update where you can push this cameras over here, and that's pretty cool. I don't mind that. So that kind of solves that problem. And then you have the navigation here too, which takes up a good part of the 17-inch screen. But other than that, that's my only con to the yoke. Maybe because I'm used to, after all these years, put a horn here, but it's not a necessity. And overall, I like how this can close and kind of, you can put everything in here and have it closed. It closes once, it closes twice, and you get all of this space down here. It's just incredible. Radar detectors down there. Took it off for the interview. But yeah, it's just incredible how much space you get, and there's more space here. There's all sorts of space here that I keep my bigger water bottles in. It's truly a very luxurious vehicle, and of course the nice touch to the pedals of the little metallic. You have obviously a glove box that opens up very quietly and very nicely, and it's super, super nice. But again, as you saw, I was leaning over. Some of the plastics Tesla still needs to improve on. Wireless chargers for both here, hazard lights, and of course, as long as you have your seatbelt on, the car auto shifts into drive. And if not, you got to put your foot on the brake. This is the, obviously, drive, reverse, all that fun stuff. And overall, it's super nice. So let's hop in the back seat and check out the front and trunk as well. Now, I'm coming from this side just because I have easy entry on my driver's seat. So it kind of like, essentially is a little bit too far back, but I'm about 5'5", and my, feet sit here, and legs and knees sit here pretty good. Now, the screen is off, but now it came back on. You get your own personalized screen back here that apparently I don't know, and I haven't tried it, and I don't have like little kids or friends that are interested in this, but you can have your own separate Bluetooth and music and all sorts of different stuff back here, and control your heated seats and all that fun stuff. So plenty of room, more storage down here on each side, and like I said, the carbon fiber accents, white seats, and of course you get your own area to put your drinks, but also these are wireless chargers as well, which is super, super convenient. I've had a couple friends in here that have luxury cars, and they say it's super nice. Some coat hangers up here on both sides, and it's super, super nice. Very roomy, very, very much space, and very premium-like, except for some of the plastics that you can hear, back and forth. The frunk, some extra camera equipment I have here, but it's a pretty big frunk. I know the Model X has the biggest frunk, and I've seen the, if they are real, spy shots of the Cybertruck from Giga Texas, and that's supposed to be even bigger than the Model X, or about the same. It's pretty wide. Now, I think they could have made it a little bit deeper. I know they got room above here, because when I take this panel off, and I've seen it where the 16-volt battery is, they do have a lot of space there above the air suspension and all that stuff, or the air suspension tank. But this is plenty for me because I typically am not a person that uses the frunk and the trunk anyway. That was a automatic trunk, super nice. You have the privacy cover here, so when the trunk is down, you can't, see inside of there if you have any goods or valuables. But even if you don't have that, obviously you got room down here. You have room here as well, along with more room here, and this goes really far back, a lot of space. You can lay stuff down. You can lay here, take a girl on a date, take your side chick on a date, take someone's wife on a date, whatever you like. Tons and tons of room here in the trunk of the Model S Plaid, which I like a lot. I like a lot of space. I can even transport small DJ systems when I take out the privacy screen, which it's not a hatchback. You can fully remove this. As you can see, it's just a magnetic strip that comes out. Put the seats down, and there is so much more room. And I can, like I said, transport a small DJ system here, which is amazing for certain gigs. So this is probably going to be the more negative part of the video. Again, like I said, I'm going to be non-biased. When something isn't right, something isn't right. And you've already seen probably earlier in the video, if you made it this far, the build quality of this. Again, it's just a plastic piece that pops out and kind of gives it that trim and blackness to it. That's kind of the first thing that I noticed. Given inside, you know, there's a couple squeaks and creaks. There are still things Tesla needs to work on, but I wouldn't even argue it's that. I would argue more that it's, you know, every company has their bad batch. You know, my buddy's had his Plaid since 2021, perfect build quality, no problems whatsoever, still runs great. It's got some miles on it now, but yeah, of course. And, you know, that's my general argument towards that. But getting to the second one, it seems like this window here is popping out. And when you get to mileage of like 60 to 70 miles per hour on the highway, you can kind of hear the air pockets and like air coming through. So I don't know if it can be pushed back in, as you can see that I'm trying to do, but I noticed that as I, you know, kind of discovered that, you know, as well. Now also on this side, interior wise, I haven't caught it on camera yet to report it to service, because I have a few things that they have to take care of, which I'll get into my build quality review and just my used car experience. This seat needs to be replaced because that is just causing this really, really loud noise. And I thought it was this panel back here maybe, or like the seat belt just like knocking over, but when I put it down, the sound goes away. But overall, the build quality has gotten a lot better from the Model S, the P100D. I was not a fan of the P100Ds. They were cool cars, but Model 3 got me interested in the company with the self-driving. But yeah, it's just, they've improved a lot on the build quality and everything that they're doing at Tesla. But they just got to choose, in my opinion, some better plastics internally on some of the seats, some of the stuff. Overall, you can see on like Rich Rebuilds channel, and other people have tore down the Plaid, that obviously there's a lot of better quality, beefier suspension, beefier control arms, and all that fun stuff. In conclusion, would I buy the Model S Plaid again? Yes, absolutely. Because the only thing that is close to this that's going to beat this in performance, first of all, is a Rimac Nevera, or a Rimac Nevera for those of you on YouTube that don't have the Eastern language and blood in you. That's the only thing that's going to beat in performance. This thing is packed with features, with luxury, and the cool self-presenting door handles that I really like, and just the awesome headlights. Everything that I reviewed in this video, I absolutely would recommend this car 10 out of 10. It is not a perfect car, and I think Tesla still has a little bit of ways to go on certain things with choices of plastics that are interior, because that just bugs me a tad bit, since I'm a sound engineer and DJ and I can hear things a little bit more in depth with people and sounds. But overall, like I said, would recommend it. I am very happy with my purchase. They truly have created a Frankenstein of engineering, and it's just completely amazing for what you get. And on top of that, it self-drives too. So you can take it to the drag strip, run 155 miles per hour, 9.2 and a quarter mile with these actual rims. You don't need anything special or any gutting or any, you know, anything like that. Just put it into drag strip mode and all that fun stuff. And you know, that is my review of my Model S Plaid after 1 month and 5,000 miles. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, share it, and until next time, thanks for watching Detroit Tesla. 13 seconds for cheetah stance. Oh crap, here we go. Wow, that's a lot.